Malika with the Jasmine brand talking to Erica Pinkett. Hi.
How are you guys?
I'm actually good. How are you? How's your day?
I'm well. This Atlanta traffic is crazy, but I'm well.
Yeah, you're not alone because I'm sitting in LA traffic right now, so I'm just like going crazy. So I understand what you're saying. But okay, so let's get right into it. I just have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So everyone was kind of introduced to you by your appearance on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Yes.
And, but you've been in the entertainment industry for a while. Like, can you tell me a little bit about your journey to where you are now?
Yeah, sure. I moved to Atlanta in 2011, and when I moved to Atlanta, I wasn't even thinking about the entertainment industry at all. Like, I had, went to Howard University for psychology, so when I came down here, I was really looking for nonprofit work. So videos were actually just something like extra on the side. And I actually fell in love with acting after like my first few acting classes. I just did it like just to do it. Like I was like, oh, this is probably going to be fun. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, wait a minute, like this actually might be something that I'm really interested in. And I actually went in with the mindset of like, all of the directors who were directing videos, well, most of the ones that I was working with, I knew that they wanted to direct films as well or already directed films. So my whole goal was just to go in with, like, just a good work ethic, go in, complete your project, and go home. I never went in to, like, date any rappers or, I never went in with that mindset. It was always about being focused on the end goal, which was acting eventually. And that led to reality TV, which we all saw that I was under, season 3 for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So I was on there for a season, and I actually spoke to a casting director at that time, which is actually like a really great casting director here in Atlanta, and she was just like, if you're really interested in acting, take it seriously, and, I'll see what I can do as far as projects that are coming up. And I guess a year later, she saw that I was really taking it seriously. She saw that I was really committed to the art, and she gave me an opportunity to audition for the All Eyez on Me film, which was really great because I had done several independent films before. However, I'd never done a major feature film. So this was like my breakthrough role. And in preparing for this role, I just went ahead, my acting coach and I, we just went in and really focused on the range of emotions that this character had to display. So it's just been a journey. It took some time, but everything was worth it. And when you get your break, everything is worth it at that point.
Great. And I want to go back really quickly to you being in school. You have a degree in psychology, and that will actually surprise a lot of people because of
people don't know that.
Yeah, so it's actually really surprising. I want to know, like, in this industry of entertainment, have you been able to kind of use what you learned in school?
Definitely. You're working with people. Like, one thing about me, I'm an actress, and even when I did videos, I came in as an actress. My role was this, you had to do this. In reality TV, obviously it's entertainment, it's television, so there's producers and, so it's entertainment. And then obviously with this film, I had to portray a character as well. And I've always been different people. I've never been able to just display, like, who I really am, 100% of who I am. One thing I do am really thankful for, because the Love and Hip Hop opportunity obviously allows certain people in the film industry to see me, and so I had to prove myself. A lot of people, they say that they act, they say that, or they do music or whatever that they do, but they're not really, they're not really skilled. I've taken years and years of, classes and coaching and direction, and really taking direction and guidance from my mentors. Just being a student is just really important. Like, I've been a student for years before I was like, okay, I believe that I'm ready for an opportunity to present myself to the world, because this Hollywood, already has so many talented actors and actresses, So I just felt like, I had something else to bring to the table, because I was a girl from Boston, the inner cities of Boston, who did go to an HBCU, who did take another route and end up, still achieving my dream, and I want people to be inspired enough to feel like don't ever let anyone put you in a box, like, there are so many different layers to me, and in time people will, learn more about me and my story, my journey, even to this beginning point. But yeah, it's been a journey, people, at the end of the day, you just have to put in your work. If you want respect, you just have to put in work. I never really listened to the naysayers or, the stories that people kind of conjure up on their own, based on what they think they saw. But I always just paid attention to the end result, which was putting my foot in that film door, So It's here now, and I'm just so excited about, like, what's to come, like the future. God willing, I'm just very grateful for God and His, just His love, and putting the right people around me who really believed in me and gave me a chance to display my talent,
Well, okay, so I don't know how it is, and maybe you can explain this to me if you experienced this, but is it difficult for a reality TV star to switch over into film? Like, is there more that you have to prove? Because, you're starting off as, a new actor to Hollywood, like, and they see you in this light. Do you have to prove something else to them? Or do you feel as though you have
I feel, it's funny because when I first was doing reality TV and I was telling people my plan the whole time, like, I want to act, everyone was telling me, like, oh, that might not be possible because of this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no. Like, I can do whatever I want to do with God's guidance. That's just my attitude. And I just went in like, if I'm talented, no one's going to turn down raw talent. And one thing about me, I'm a professional, and regardless of what was shown as entertainment, I'm a professional. I do what I'm casted to do. And so in being a professional, I knew that, okay, well, I had to, these people that are in film, they know what it is. They can separate the people who are in reality TV as a platform and the people who are just playing out here, and hard work will separate that, like real raw talent. There's been a few people from reality TV that have been able to transcend into another, on another level, or move on and do other things. So I just, thank God for that opportunity. All it takes sometimes is for someone to give you a chance to display your talent. And if you're talented, they can't deny that, on top of professionalism.
Okay. Well, yeah, all of that makes a lot of sense. And the fact that you actually, like, study and hone your craft, like, it allows you to then go into this role. And with this, I just wonder, like, what made you even want to read the script and audition for the role?
Well, when, I really do respect the casting director that reached out to me. And when she did, she explained, the role, and I read the sides for the role. I was like, obviously, being a Tupac fanatic, I was like, at first kind of judging the character, but then I realized, obviously, as a true actress, my job is just to tell the truth about whatever character that I'm displaying. And being that it's a biopic, it was my job to display that character in her entirety without judging her. And I feel that my acting coach and I, we worked so hard on displaying the dynamics and being able to give the audience a chill, whether you like her or not, which obviously people are not too not too happy about her character. But if you see the climax, I feel, of the film, when she just busts into the room and, you know, tells Pac, you know, how are you going to let them do this to me? I feel like that was like a really chilling scene. And we were able to get there because of the hours and hours of dedication that was dedicated, not just to acting, but just to this part alone, you know. So it was a journey, but man, it was an amazing time and honor just being able to film with so many great actors like Corey Hardrick and Demetrius Shipp Jr. It was just an honor.
And that's really, really good. With your character being so controversial in the film, were there any challenges that you faced trying to like embody her essence?
Well, yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge was being able to be in a state of hysteria for hours on set. You know, this is not, you know, when a normal human being, you and I cry in our daily lives. We don't cry for hours. You know, we cry and, you know, we keep it going, and maybe our head hurts after, maybe we're drained, but imagine just having to be in that state for hours. So that was the most challenging part for me, but, you know, we were able to pull it off, thank God.
Okay. Did you want to read for any other role? Did any other role like pique your interest?
There are other projects that are in the works currently, and, you know, just being an actress, a young budding actress, I definitely am interested in everything. You know, I'm really open to great stories. You know, I love great stories. So anything that I read, I'm always checking for the plot. What is this about? You know, is this inspiring? Is it, you know, what is the message behind this project that I'm doing? So I'm interested in reading amazing stories.
Well, that's really good. And I know with the film, there was a lot of controversy around it in its making, and there's still a bit of controversy around it now that it's, you know, available to the public. I just want to, like, how have you been dealing with all that's been said, and, you know, what's one rumor or comment about the film that's, like, bothered you the most?
Well, what I will say is I know being a part of this movie and being a part of it from beginning to end, like, I remember actually going through some of my old paperwork the other day and seeing, like, an original call sheet. And, you know, I had a moment because I was just really honored to see Afeni Shakur's name on there as executive producer. You know, it was original call sheet of mine. It was just a reminder, you know, the integrity that this film really did have. And no matter what anyone says based on opinion, the fact of the matter is so many people had an opportunity to highlight Pac's legacy over the years. But the fact of the matter is, you know, Benny Boom and L.T. Hutton got together and actually made it happen, you know, and being that a lot of people say, oh, Hollywood doesn't give African-American actors and actresses enough chance to display their stories or their talents. Well, here was an opportunity. And I know personally that I was one of many talented casts that were given an opportunity to be in an incredibly important film. And a lot of the naysayers, when I talk to them, they haven't even seen the film because of what they think they heard. And the people that I've heard great things about, they went and saw the film and were like, you know what, I was so surprised. It was a great film. So, you know, I show love, you know, and I have love and respect even for people who may agree to disagree on certain topics, but I know because of experience that this was taken very seriously. No one had time to play with this project at all. So, you know, it's a letdown when you do something that is so important and you know that you've been a part of such an amazing team that brought an idea together and make it happen for such a legendary person. I mean, to hear some of the things, it is a letdown. However, I would just tell people Pac wanted us all to think for ourselves, and if you really want to judge this film, well, first thing you have to do is go see it, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely right. What did you find yourself learning about Tupac throughout the...
Oh, man, I was like 11 years old in Boston and just remember falling in love with Brenda's Got a Baby. You know, that was my favorite song because growing up how I grew up, I knew so many girls that could have been Brenda or that were Brenda, you know. So that was just an incredible time for me. And, you know, so it was just amazing, like just growing up and being inspired by him and then actually being casted to portray someone who was so controversial in his life. It was crazy.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you've seen, it's been all over social media, but Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner have released these vintage hip-hop T-shirts where they put their faces over, you know, Biggie's faces and Tupac's faces. Have you been able to see those?
I have not seen those. I'm sorry, and I've heard a lot about that, but I have not seen those.
Have you had any, like, thoughts on it? Like,
I don't, you know, my thing is this, I think a lot of times with just how we are nowadays, a lot of times we do things without really thinking about how important something is. And I feel like both the Pac and Biggie legacies are very important, you know, and should be, anything that's done around them should be done with love and respect, and not just like for money, you know. And if, you know, I think that they apologize or something like that, but I do feel like, you know, we do need to put more thought into things that we say and things that we do and put out in the world because there could be repercussions.
Absolutely right. Okay, well, I just have one last question. I want to know what's next for you after this film. Like, what projects are you working on? Or are you going into music, going back to videos? Like, what's next for Erica?
I'm just actually working currently just on writing, and I'm actually going to turn this writing into a project that I will release not too soon because I want to take my time, but people will see it, and hopefully people will get to know more about who Erica Pinkett is as the person, you know, not just what brands I've been attached to or anything like that, but really understanding my story and just my love and I think a lot of people don't really understand my love and connection for positive social change and community work and activism, and I've been a part of that like my whole life. But entertainment has been a whole other side of my life, and so now I'm at this place where I want to intertwine the two, and so I'll be working on some projects, you know, for battered women's shelters and things like that, foundations for youth. I'm actually, it's funny because when I moved here from Boston, my whole work experience has been nothing but nonprofit work. So when people see me now, they're like, this is so funny because you were like always the preaching sister, like, you know, and it's just funny, like, you know, you can have a passion and love for so many different things, and now I'm at the place where I want to actually put those two worlds together, like so many other actors and actresses have done as well.
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. I think you did an amazing job in the film. And
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem. I just thank you for spending the time today to talk to me on behalf of the Jasmine brand.